All right, welcome to the Fam Jam team call. It's December 16th, and I'm really pumped tonight because I'm going to chat to you guys about Reels and how to use Instagram Reels. We're going to walk through like the whole thing. And if you guys have questions kind of as we go, make sure you pop them in the chat. And I will try to answer stuff at the end as well. But Reels is really like a really great new feature that I want you guys to get really comfortable with on IG. So before we do that.
And it's where everybody is. Like everyone's on Reels.
All the views and likes and comments and everything are down. Like engagement is down so much because everyone's just consuming Reels. So let's make sure that we get our faces on there too. So I'm going to give you some confidence in knowing how to make those Reels tonight. But before we do that, we'll start with recognition. If anyone has any recognition, you can unmute yourself and go ahead and recognize your coaches. Oh, we're quiet tonight. Okay. I want to give an official welcome to Amanda. Yeah. Amanda is here tonight. Welcome, Amanda, to Fam Jam. So excited for you. Guys, give her a welcome in the chat. And anything else from you?
No, that's it.
Okay. Perfect. I'll give you guys 2 seconds if you want more recognition. I got to pop over to a different screen and then we'll kick this off.
Okay, so how this is going to work is Shalene is going to run you through everything you kind of need to know about Reels. And if you have any questions, pop them in the chat. I'll be monitoring the chat. And she's just over here. So if there is any questions that need to be answered right away, I'll pass them along to her. And if not, it can wait to the end. Then we'll wait to the end. But hopefully we'll have a question period at the end. But Shalene is going to take you through everything for Reels because Reels is where it's at right now. And there are so many people consuming hours of their day on Reels. So I think it's important that we have our faces in there for sure. So Shalene, are you ready?
I think so. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Can you turn your computer down for me? Cool. Okay, awesome. So obviously this is Instagram. I can't see any of your faces, by the way. So I hope that you can see me okay. I'm going to try and make my screen bigger for myself. Okay, so when you are on Instagram, you can swipe over. Hi guys. You can swipe over and get to your DMs. You can swipe and that's your feed, and then swipe over. And this is where you get to your stories. Now, from here, if you have the updated app, I'm hoping you guys have this update that I have, and you have all your options kind of at the bottom. So you can see at the bottom there, you can actually make a new post. You can make a story, you can make a reel, and you can go live. So we'll focus on Reels for now. And there's a ton of different ways that we can do Reels. I really just want to talk about first kind of everything that you see over on the left-hand side. So on the left-hand side, you can see that up here, you can actually change the time of your reel. So let's start with that first. You can click on that and make a 30-second video, or you can click on that and you can make a 15-second video. For the most part, reels are 15 seconds. But if you wanted to make a longer one, you totally could. So the option is yours there. I usually have that set for 15 seconds. And then moving down, you have your music button. So a couple of things to note about the music button. I would try and stay in the trending music if you can. So if you click on see more, you can see down here, these are all the songs that are kind of trending right now. And this is where I would stay. The reason is because trending songs seem to be getting the most attraction on Reels. And if you're using your own audio, original audio, or a different song, I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but if you're looking to get more eyes on your stuff, then the odds are in your favor if you are using a trending song. So go into the trending songs to choose a song. Now, there is, I mean, let's pick a song that is appropriate here. We'll go with the Christmas one. Can you guys hear that? So the music is playing. You can actually scroll at the bottom once you choose your song. You can scroll left and right to get to the part of the song that you want to start at. So if it comes up and it's not the part that you really want to go with, you can just scroll that over to wherever you need it to be. If you wanted like the very beginning of this song, because you want that part, you can go ahead and just scroll it over to the left or right accordingly. Okay, so that's kind of how you can get to the music, how you can select what part of the music you want, and then you're going to click on done. Now you'll see here, instead of the music symbol, it actually is updated with the song that you've chosen, like the album cover, so you know you have a song that is ready for this reel. The other thing with Reels for music, there's one other way that you can actually choose music. So I'm just going to pop out of here for a second so that you guys can see this. Reels at the bottom. Say I wanted this song. What song is this? At the bottom, I decided, I watched this. I'm like, yep, I want this song. At the bottom here, I can actually click on the song and I can use this audio. So one, it gives me other ideas. I can scroll through here and be like, oh, I really like that song. What are other people doing to that song? I can also go ahead and click use audio and it'll take me right to my reel section. And now that is the audio that I have chosen for this reel. So that's another way that you can choose your audio. Oftentimes I'll find a song that I really love, or I'll see a reel that I like and I'm like, oh, I could totally spin that, or I want to use that one at a future date. What you can actually do is you can save it. So if you use that flag to save the audio, now it'll be saved in, I'll show you where you can actually find it. Go to your profile at the bottom, and then at the top 3 lines, you can go into archive. No, don't go into archive. I'm lying to you. You can go into saved down here. I'm so used to going to archive. That was like autopilot. And then audio. You'll have an audio file. So these are like all the audios that I have come across that I want to do reels for next, and they'll save here. So now I don't have to go back searching through the reels trying to find the one that I actually want to use. It's right here. Does that make sense on audio? Hopefully that makes sense. We'll go back over to the reel. So we have a 15-second reel. We have our audio that is right there. And then there's a couple of different options. So let me just grab a couple of things here. If you are, let's say you are recording right within the reels, like this frame right here, you can go ahead and click the circle button at the bottom. As soon as you hit this button, it starts recording. So immediately I'm already recording something right now. If I want to like scroll up to whatever. Okay, so I stopped it. So I have something that's recorded. We have video. If you want to change that video, sorry, you just click on the back button here. And when you click on that button, it actually gives you the option to trim it or delete it. So if you recorded something and you were like, oh, that was awful, I don't want that, you can delete it right from here, or you can click trim. This is how people are doing all of their transitions. So if you see a transition, a really quick transition, and you're like, how on earth did they go from one thing to the next? Well, they likely are just trimming the video at the bottom to get the part of the video that they actually wanted, and then trimming it at the end again. So this is where you can trim it longer, shorter. You'll also see at the top, you can see now there's the bar at the top that's going pink as this plays. And that's showing you how much room you have left of your reel. So currently we have like a third of our reel recorded, and there's still all this time that is left in our 15 seconds. If we're happy with that, we can hit trim. If we don't want to do that, we can hit cancel. It will keep the full amount. So if we're happy with that, we're going to hit trim. We want to have that. And then we're going to hit done. It'll bring us back to be able to record again. So you can see at the top that we have this much recorded, and now I can start another recording. So if I wanted to go over here, because that's kind of where I ended off, or I'm doing like a transition, you could go to something completely different, by the way. I mean, I could totally just flip this around. You're not going to see much of me, but I could flip this around and I could record something of myself at this point. It's totally up to you and what you guys are doing, but just know that there's a really cool feature that I absolutely love, is this align feature. So it actually, if you click on that, it shows you where you left off. So it shows me that I have the box there, and I can just line that up and then I can hit record again, and I can do whatever it is that I was going to do next. So this align button is really cool if you're trying to do certain transitions. It just helps you to line that last video up with the next time that you're about to go ahead and record again. So let's pretend we're going to record again. We're going to do something else here. Again, same thing, you guys. You can click on the arrow to the left, and now I have 3 different recordings that are sitting here, and I can go ahead and I can trim any one of these up if I need to trim them up. I hit trim, and again, on this one, I could totally hit trim, or I'm like, that's kind of wonky. I'm just going to go ahead and discard that clip, and my other 2 clips remain. Okay, hope that that makes sense. Something else that is really cool on this part, if you're recording right within the app, you can click on the effects button, and any of the effects that are with Instagram on the right-hand side, any effects that you've downloaded to your phone will be over on the left-hand side. So you can just scroll over and choose whatever effect that you want if you want to apply any type of filter or fun effect to your actual reel. If you scroll all the way over, you can browse effects. So you can choose different effects. You can download them at this point in time. And you can hit X if you don't need any of those, or if you already have what you want. Another really cool feature here is the timer. So this is one that I didn't really understand how to use, but the timer is really great if you need to like step back from your camera and actually get into place. Or if you're like trying to line up the words and you just need like a hot second to like have a countdown so that it counts you in. There's a timer for 3 seconds, or there's a timer for 10 seconds, so it'll count down. So if you set the timer for 3 seconds, anytime you hit this button, it will count down 3, 2, 1, and then record. Okay. So that's the timer feature. I really like the timer feature. I probably use it on every single reel that I actually record, just so that it gives me a second to make sure that I'm lined up properly and I know what I'm doing. From here, you can click over, and this is your whole video that we just recorded. So everything that we did is now here. And if you are like, I don't like it, I don't like how it came together, you can just go ahead and click back and you can edit it again. Down at the bottom, this is where you're going to edit those videos and trim them up however you need to, or add to it. You can see we still have space. So this isn't even a full 15-second video right now, and it will max you out as soon as the pink line gets to the right-hand side. We're going to click the right arrow over and pretend like we are finished with this. From here, you can add things onto, just like you would a story, you can add GIFs onto here. I actually wouldn't recommend adding GIFs onto your video, to be honest with you. Words are fine, but the GIFs I think are distracting for the most part. So yeah, just careful how much you're putting on here after you've actually recorded your video. A question that I get a ton, give me a second. I'm just going to go back and delete these because I'm going to make you guys dizzy with the way that the camera went.
Cover how you put words on.
Yes, I'm going to do that next. I just felt like I was making people dizzy with the video going over to the right the entire time. So once you've recorded your video, I'll record a blank screen here just so that you guys can see this. This is the video, and what I can do from here, instead of the GIFs, I decided I'm not going to add any of that to my story. There's lines you can draw on this if you want to. I don't often, but you totally can. And words. So this is the question that I think most people have. And we'll just type something here. You can write whatever you want on here. I like to write everything. So try not to make your reels super wordy. Remember, people only have a couple of seconds to read it, right? So make sure that you aren't putting too much text in a really short amount of time, or people are not going to be able to read what it is that you've actually written out. Try to really make it shorter sentences, bigger, so that people can read it, where it's not like super, super small, and then people just kind of like skip over it and maybe miss the whole point of your reel. But you can add anything that you want. I like to add all the words that I'm going to put in first. So I have no idea what I'm typing here. We're just going to go with it. So before I continue on, we have at the top where we can edit our fonts as well. So from here, you can change it to left, right alignment, middle alignment. You can change your color. If you don't know this trick, you can do this on stories as well. You can change your color here. You can use the eyedropper tool and you can select something from your video, which is really great because then it's really like aesthetically pleasing and it looks really nice on the eye. Whenever the font color is matching what's happening in the video, it looks really cool. Or if you have brand fonts, if you have brand fonts or brand colors that you're consistently using, then you can go ahead and use those. What I really love to do is I never use any of these colors here. You can swipe over, by the way, to get more colors. I just hold my finger down on it and now you get a gradient. So you can go ahead and change to whatever color it is that you want. You guys probably see I use like a teal color quite often. And that's just kind of my brand color because it's beachy. You can change up here the background if you want. So it can be the text color. You can change it to a white background, or you can change it to the color that you selected and have that as the background as well. There is this new update. Not everybody has this update. I finally got it, which is great. This one here is really just animates your text. So if you want to add any animation to the text, then you totally can. I'm not going to for this example. But now is the time where we're like, okay, placement is important of this text. And how do I get the text to like actually disappear throughout this reel? I want to really just highlight when you are watching a reel, oftentimes you're going to be watching it in the square, right? Because it's posted to somebody's feed. So pretend that this is the square and really try to make sure that your text stays in this spot. Try not to go too high up here. And you can even see like right where it says reels, I would make sure that you come down quite a bit past that blue line. You can see that blue line there. Come down below it because that's going to make sure that people can see your text. If people can't see your text, oftentimes they just continue on. Same with down here. You'll scroll down and you'll see that you have like the ghost image down there of what people will see on your reel. And if you have it down here, it just gets hidden. If you have it too close to the side, again, it's kind of hidden behind all of the stuff over here. So try to keep it up here into the middle if you can. Once you have your text in the imaginary square, pretend there's a square there. I'm going to take these yellow lines out just by hitting undo. Now you can click your text at the bottom. So when you click on the text at the bottom, the same thing happens with our video where we can trim and we can choose the length of time that the text remains on this reel. So if I wanted the first words here, join us in the new year, to happen first, and then can't wait, I want to happen after, I just scroll this over and you'll see that the first join us in the new year disappears right there. So that's where I could add in the can't wait. This is also really cool if you're trying to like get words to pop up to the beat of the music, then you can go to the beat of the music here. So you could have that pop up there. Now you just drag this white line back or let it play out. It'll start over again, join us in the new year. And when the whatever word you have selected will actually show up in like it's like covered, right? See how it kind of goes into like a ghost format there, just to show you where it actually is. But it won't show like that when your reel actually posts. So I hope that that makes sense. This is really important too. Like you'll hear your music on this part. I just have the volume down. So if I wanted one of those words to come in on that beat at the end, example. I'm late on that. So I would totally, I play around with this because I have things kind of come in with the beat, or if I'm like snapping, I'll just sit and I'll just play back and forth to make sure that I hit it on that beat. So that's how people do that. That's how you have it kind of go in and out. I hope that that makes sense. Once you click done, from this point on, you can click share. So you've created your reel, you want to click share. This is a really cool part that I think sometimes we underutilize what's happening once we go to hit share. So first things first, you can create a ton of reels and you can just click save to draft. When you save it to draft, it does not post. It literally just goes to your draft folder, which I will show you where that is right now. So if you go back over to your profile, go into your reels, now you have drafts sitting here. And now I have this draft here. So this is the video we just created. I'll go back in. I'm pretending like I want to post this. You can write your caption in here. Your caption can be the same as a caption on a post. So you have the same number of characters. You can tag people in your caption. You cannot tag people in a reel. So if you're writing on the reel to like tag them like you would in a story, they won't get tagged. You have to tag them at this point in this caption. So if I wanted to tag Jer, I could tag him here. You also can use hashtags here. So you can use up to 30 hashtags in your post, or you can use the 30 hashtags in the first comment of your reel. Hashtags have been working pretty well for me lately, to be honest with you. So I've been trying to use more hashtags on my reels. And yeah, I'm just trying to include them right into the post. And if I can't, then I put them on the comment. Or if I forget, I go back in and I comment and I put some hashtags in. So something else that you can toggle off is also share to feed. So if you don't want this to go onto your grid of your main profile, people go to your profile, the main profile, I'll show you where that is. If you don't want it to go there, just toggle it off and then it won't show up on your grid. If you want it to show up, make sure that that is blue and selected for you. Another thing that you can do is you can change the cover. So you can go ahead and slide the slider at the bottom to choose a part of the story that you actually want to have as your cover, and that will remain as your cover once you click done. Now you can see that that's the cover. Or if you click on cover, you can actually add from your camera roll. So if you took a picture beforehand, you can add from your camera roll to have like a picture of you actually come up on the cover of this. You can click done once you've selected the cover that you want. You've entered all your text, you have your whole caption, you're ready to go. And then you can actually click on edit if you need to go back and you're like, no, abort mission. I don't know, this is not ready yet. Or you can go ahead and click share. Once you click share, then it gets posted to your reels, also to your feed if that is toggled on. Or you can go ahead and you can share it to your stories. So if you wanted to share that reel just to your stories and not to your reels, you could. I don't really use that feature too often, to be honest with you. What I generally like to do is create my reel, and then I'll show you how I share it to my stories. So this is kind of like the whole thing around, let me get out of my drafts here. The whole thing around just creating a reel and what that looks like. So if I wanted to share one to my stories, usually what I do is I go to my reel and then I click the airplane button and I will add that to my story. And when I add it to my story, I really want to highlight this part, which I think is important for most people. If people are watching, this is 15 seconds, right? This reel, your story is also 15 seconds. So people could actually watch your reel in the stories, but it doesn't count as a view on your reel. So this engagement that they're consuming this content right now, it's actually not showing up for your algorithm with your reels. So I encourage you guys to just hide this. You can add a photo. Like if you wanted to go ahead and add a photo, you can add a photo onto the top of this one. It's like a random photo, but you can go ahead and add a photo onto it so people can't see it. Or if you didn't want to add a photo, you could add a GIF. If you added a GIF, you could type in new reel. You can go ahead and like just make it big so that they can't really see it and they have to tap onto the reel to go and watch it. Once you have whatever you want on here, something else you can actually do is click on the squiggly line, which is your drawing feature. And you could use the highlighter button, or you could use, I like the highlighter one because you can kind of see through it. I select a color, select whatever color that is typical for your brand, and then hold your finger down. And now it kind of gives you that translucent look over top of your reel. So they can't even see it that well. Something else that you could do with that one, I could undo that. If I wanted to hold down on the regular marker, it will cover the majority of it. And I could actually go back in with like my eraser and I could show like a sneak peek of it, right? Something like that. Just get creative with it, make it look interesting, have people want to go on here and be like, what is she up to? I want to see what's happening. I want to know what that song is. Even if you have something that's like tap here, right? They can't really see what it is, but it looks interesting. So just different ways that you can add your reel to your story. Curiosity marketing is is everything, right? So that's one way. I'm going to discard this. I'm not going to share it. And what I mean when you are going to your reels, so if someone were to watch my reel in my story, it wouldn't show as anything here. So it wouldn't show as a play on reel, and they can't interact with it. So if I wanted them to like it or comment on it, they wouldn't be able to do that because they're watching it from my story. So I hope that that makes sense. Okay. Are we good with questions?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Just making sure. I thought Jared was actually putting the kids to bed there for a second. Okay, what else did I want to talk about here? We are, I think we're pretty good. Like I've done most of kind of what you can do when you're in the reel or creating reels. Do you guys have any questions at this point in time before I move on to something else? I'll give you a hot second. Who has done a reel? Or actually, who hasn't done a reel? Comment in the chat. Anyone, Jerry? I can't see the chat.
Nothing yet. Steph hasn't.
Okay. Is this helping, Steph? One thing that I didn't show you guys that I will show you is when you are creating a reel. Okay, perfect. I hope that this is going to help you guys just kind of like have some confidence to be like, this is what's actually going on. On the left-hand side, the one thing that we didn't talk about was the number. So you can see the 1X that's sitting there. So if I were to choose a song, I'll go back in. Let's choose this song. Done. That's the part of the song that I want to use. I can change the speed of the video that it's going to record at. So if I want it to record slower, then I would hit something slower. I'll turn the volume up just so you guys can hear this. Say I'm recording. To look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look. So if I were to play that. Beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Perfect. Looks great. Let's trim it. It's amazing. That part there is really cool when you want to have transitions. If you're recording right within here, you could do a slow video and then I could actually go in now and I could change that to be faster. So it's just appealing, right, to the eye when you can change the speed of the video. You can go slower, you can go faster, and you can go like normal speed. So play around with this too, and you'll notice the music goes faster when it's slower, and the music goes slower when you actually want it to speed up. The speeding it up feature is really great if you're trying to do dances and you're like, I cannot go that fast. So you could actually record yourself in like slow motion doing the dance. And then when it plays normal, it would play to the normal speed. So that one's a really cool feature that you can utilize as well. Let's get out of this. Okay, how do we feel about that, guys? Any other questions on that?
One just came in. Can you do that on stories also with the speed of
No, you cannot. But you can create a reel and you can post it to your story, right? So if we were creating a reel here, when I went to post it, that's big, share to, I could share that to my story. So if you didn't want to post it as like a reel, you could do a video here and then post it to your story. So yeah, totally possible. The one thing that we didn't talk about was what do you want to do if you don't want to actually put something in here that like record right within the app? So if you are here and you're like, I already have my videos for my workout recorded, I've got them done, how do I pull all this together? If you swipe up, you can select any of the videos that you have. So I will select this video. At the bottom, you can drag whatever it is that you want in the video. You'll see as I'm dragging on the bottom, you can see the pink bar at the top. So you can see how much of this 15-second reel I'm filling up right now. I'll hit add. Then again, swipe up. You can add in another video. I can choose whatever part of this I really want to have. And then again, you can just see at the top, right? You're like adding things in. What are you laughing at? Oh, Nick, are you going to do a bar reel? Please tell me you are. And then again, right? So I'm going to add in all these videos. And now I have them in here. If I want to see what they all look like together, you just click back and now you can edit them all right here. So if I don't like any of my transitions at all, I can go ahead and I can trim any of these up and I can move things around this way. So I'm going to trim that there. I'm going to hit done. I'm feeling pretty confident about that. You cannot add an effect. So the video is already recorded. If you want to add an effect to the video, you would have to record the video on your stories with the effect, save it, don't post it to your stories, and then you could upload it to your reel. I hope that makes sense. It definitely is an extra step. But if you weren't making this, I'll just show it as an example here. I would go to my story. I would choose the effect that I want. Then I could record whatever the effect is. Oh, that's a good picture. I thought it was a video. Choose video. So if I'm recording this, all the delays, there we go. Then I would save it at the top. And now it's going to save to my phone. I can X out of it so it doesn't post to my stories. And then if I X out of this, I can go back to my reels at the bottom. I can swipe up. And now that video I just recorded is right there with the effect that I wanted. So just remember that you cannot add the effect afterwards if you are already putting a video on. What else about that should you guys know?
About the Instagram filter though. You know how you can change, like when you go to the video, you can just swipe left or right and it'll change the filter of your video. That's how I get mine black and white. You know what I mean?
Sorry, like this, babe?
Yeah, no, so just add a video to it.
Oh.
Add one of your videos.
Okay. Video added.
Yeah, now swipe left or right.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So on your stories, yes, this is what Jerry uses to add in some of the filters that are right within Instagram as well. One of my favorite ones is actually New York. It's a good one. Okay, so that is that. I think the most important thing, you guys, is that you just get in here and you play around with this and you try and like just figure out some of these features. Try and find a way that you can get like a really cool transition, right? Sorry, I'm not in Reels. Find a way that you can get like a really cool transition where if you are recording, I'm going to be here. I can take this one out that said I'm intentional. And now I can hit record again. Right. And if I watch this back, like just kind of watch what's going on as you play things through. Hold on. I went to the wrong section. I think I'm good with that. So if I play it from here, you can see it goes in, it goes dark, and then it comes back out. So play around with some transitions. Transitions are really, really fun. You could even go from like recording yourself and you could be sitting down. And then the next time you're recording, you're like standing on a chair, getting all wild and crazy up in here. Do you, be you, have fun with these. Don't think that these have to be super professional. I think if anything, know that this is where you can like really shine and you can totally be able to show who you are, what you're all about, what you love. Like use these reels as educational and entertainment. I want you to use them as both. I think that it's really important that we're like catching people's eyes with entertaining reels and then educate them on something. So it doesn't just have to be the same thing that we're doing on story and then put it into a reel. I was doing that for a while where I was just taking all of my workout stories and I was just making them shorter clips and then adding them into a reel, and they really didn't perform very well. And I was like, what is going on? I don't understand. And then I do a reel of me just like dancing and pointing and like having words, and all of a sudden that performs really well. So I was really just a matter of me trying to figure out like what my audience really related to and what they were used to seeing on reels, and what they weren't used to seeing. So our workout challenges people really love, where you can say like, here's 3 great exercises for abs, or 3 great arm exercises, or 3 great leg exercises, or how to use a step. Like, show them how to use some of the small equipment that we have. Those are all really great reels too. Was there questions there? I saw some stuff in the chat. Oh, okay. If you are struggling with what to say and you don't know what to say, or you don't know what kind of reel to do, or you have no idea kind of what's up, go to Pinterest. Like, super helpful. And you could put reel in, you could put anything in here. I think that the most important thing is that you put in something that's you. So what is something that you've done that nobody else has done, or what's something that you've done that you know a lot about? Did you just get a certificate in something? Did you take a course on something? What is your profession? Like, what can you teach people that they might not know, that you might think everyone knows, but they don't, right? Go to Pinterest, grab some ideas, go through reels, save some audio, and see what you can't just think of when you're like, oh, okay, this audio, I could totally use this for that. I saw Katie's, actually, she did the one about the snacks, the kids asking for the snacks like 500 times. And I was like, yes, that's hilarious. And so true, right? Talking about nutrition, talking about the snack game with kids, and really just talking about mom life in a really funny reel. So I loved how you kind of pulled all of that together. I'm going to turn my screen off unless anyone has any other questions. You want me to show you anything? But I think for the most part, that's like a good intro to reels. I'll wait for a sec to see if anyone has questions. No, we're feeling pretty good. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to go over to Jer, and then we'll wrap this call up for you guys. Yeah, you can unmute.
Yeah, it's this. Turn the volume back.
Perfect. Okay. And I want you guys, I was talking with Shorty the other day, and we were just kind of like chatting about it can be really hard when you're consuming a lot of reels and you're watching them and you're trying to like figure it out. I think it can be really challenging when you're like, oh, well, I don't know how to do that, or I can't do that like her, or that's not me. I would never stand and dance in front of a video. Like, that's just not me. I don't know. And you kind of get stuck because people aren't doing anything that you might feel really comfortable doing. Don't feel like you have to do a reel that everyone else is doing. Like, make it your own. Do whatever you're comfortable doing. And maybe that's not showing your face right away. Maybe that's not being on the camera. Maybe it's showing your affirmation cards. Maybe it's showing your workout space. Maybe it's showing your 5 top personal development books. And you can just like video in and out of each book, right?
Or a meal, or how you're prepping for a meal or something.
How you prep a meal, prepping snacks for the kids. Another one that's really good is if you just use on your, you can do it right within the Reels app, or you can do it on your phone. If you use the time lapse feature, or you speed it up in Reels, you could actually do like a whole reel of like your morning routine, and you could show people your morning routine, or cooking a meal, or playing with the kids, or literally anything. Like, and nothing is off the table when it comes to Reels and like coming up with content for it. I think that it's a really cool way for people to see your personality, for people to be able to connect with you. But over anything, over the reel being like perfect, I just want you to be you. Like, I want you to be authentic. What is it that lights you up? What is it that is something that brings you joy? What are you really passionate about within the realm of what you do, where you can teach people about health and wellness, mindset? You basically just want to give them the business activities that we do, right? So all the business activities that we're doing is kind of what we want to teach people. And so if you can teach them that through Reels and be yourself and a little bit quirky and funny, we're all a little bit weird some way or another.
A lot of bit weird.
You said it, not me. But allow that to like kind of shine through. I think that it's really, really cool to be able to see your personality. And I think people can even see your personality more through Reels than you can even through stories, because you can I don't know. You can hide behind the audio and make it a little bit more fun, right? I would never sing on my stories ever, but I'll lip sing any day. You don't want to hear me sing. Okay, I think that that's good. You just have to be more creative. And that's the thing, like just play around with it, Danielle. And I love that you've already gone in and dove into like the basics. We can get into like a more advanced kind of how do you do the snapping transition and stuff like that. If you guys need that, we can do another call on that. But I really just wanted to have like a Reels basics so that you guys could have a basic understanding of at least what it looks like and not be too afraid. Know that you can get in there and you can play around and no one can see anything that you're doing or recording, or it's not going to accidentally post. Like there's a lot of steps you have to take in order for that reel to post. I remember the first time I went live. Oh my gosh, this is way better than a live video, by the way. Like you can mess up and delete and do whatever you want. The first time I did a live video, it was of the kids actually swimming at the lake. It was the first summer that we had actually got the trailer.
Yeah.
And one person showed up on the live and it said it was like one eyeball. And I went, end video. I don't want anyone watching me. I like panicked instantly. So this way, at least you can see what it is before you even put it out there. You don't have the Reel Explore page. Oh, okay. So if you don't have that, you can just swipe over or hit the search button. If you hit the magnifying glass, it should take you and you should have Reels at the top. Is that how you find them, Danielle?
No, I don't have that yet. I think I just need to like restart my entire phone because I don't have, when I go to the Explore page, it just says IGTV and shop. There's no Reels.
Is the first thing that's there a reel? Like where it would normally be photos?
Yeah, it's actually your reel. Yeah.
So if you click on that, does it take you into Reels? Yeah. And then
it just takes me to your reel.
You can't swipe up?
I can swipe up, but it takes me to like different reels, not like a whole page of them.
Yeah. That's all I get to when I go to my Reels. It's like TikTok. So when I click on it, I just get one at a time and then you got to swipe through them all.
Gotcha. I would love I need to update it because I know what you were showing on the phone. When you're showing on your bottom menu, there's like a Reel Explore page. I don't have that.
Yeah. So mine, I think I got that like 3 weeks ago, probably with the update. So it should be soon. And I do know that some people don't have the audio feature. Does anyone not have the audio? Does everyone have audio? Because there are a couple of people who don't have the audio option. And if that is you, then my best solution is go record it in TikTok and then come back and post it in Reels. It's a little bit different of a platform over on TikTok. I actually find it easier to record everything in TikTok than I do actually in Reels, which is another option for you. If you're used to TikTok, download your video and then upload it to Reels. Super simple. But yeah, if you don't have the audio on your Reels, then you have an extra step. Oh, perfect. I love that. Yes, Shannon, we can help you with stories too. I love it. Good. I'm glad that it helped. Any last minute questions? Other than that, we are at 8:45. This will be our last team. No, we won't have a team call next week. We'll still have another one before the end of the year. But we won't have a team call next week. So we're going to take next week off. I hope you guys enjoy your time with your families, whatever that looks like, whether it's Zoom or you get to see a couple of them. I don't know what that looks like for you guys. We're all in different areas, different places. But I hope you guys enjoy that. And then after Christmas, I was thinking we can do like a fun little virtual happy hour again, or like PJ party or something, and just kind of have some fun and kick back and get to know one another. And those are always fun. So yeah, enjoy the week off. And next week for that, don't forget the launch of Night Week Control Freak for clients is happening on Monday. I am so pumped for this. And I know that you're probably getting so many different answers from people right now, right across the spectrum of people who are like, yeah, this sounds great. A lot of people saying, I have to wait till after Christmas. A lot of people saying, I just don't have it right now, or I'm not focused on that right now. People are kind of going through a hard time, right? With not being able to see their families like we normally do. So I think the processing of that is a bit much. Just be there for people and just be that shoulder for them. But stick with them, write your list out, and know that just because it launches on Monday doesn't mean that it's the last day, right? We have lots of time. You can always push your start date back for your challenge group if you need to, or set a second start date for your challenge group at the end of January if that is kind of like what you're getting from responses from people and they don't order until January 1st. Then start it 2 weeks after that so they can get their kit, right? Just be flexible, I think, is the biggest thing that we can do right now as business owners, is being flexible. But also just being very transparent about what we have and when it's happening. And like every single day, talk about what you've got going on every single day. I know it sounds redundant. And I know sometimes you're like, I'm sick of myself talking about this right now, but not everyone watches your stories every day, right? So you might get a couple new eyes or people who catch your post a couple days later and then they go and they watch your stories because they saw a post. And it's the circle of Instagram. It's the rabbit hole of Instagram as people go through it. Just make sure that you're present. It's your storefront. So make sure that you guys have stuff on there every single day with whatever challenge group you have coming up. But other than that, thanks for jumping on, guys. I hope this helped. I will post the recording. You can tag your coaches for anyone who missed it or pop it into your chats. And I hope you have a good night. Bye, guys.
See you guys.